Chapter 4 of the Complete Works of Artemus Ward, Part 2, War, by Charles Farrar Browne. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Chapter 4 The War Fever in Bladinsville. As soon as I recuperated my physical system I went over into the village. The peasantry was glad to see me. The schoolmaster said it was cheerin' to see that gigantic intellect among 'em once more. That's what he called me. I like the schoolmaster, and I allers send him tobacker when I'm off on a travelin' campaign. Besides, he is a very sensible man. Such men should be encouraged. They don't get news very fast in Bladinsville, as nothin' but a plank road runs in there twice a week, and that's very much out of repair. So my neighbors wasn't much posted up in regard to the wars. Squire Baxter said he'd voted the Democratic ticket for goin' on 40 year, and the war was a damn black Republican lie. Joe Stackpole, who kills hogs for the Squire, and has a powerful muscle into his arms, said he'd bet $5 he could lick the crisis in a fair stand-up fight, if he wouldn't draw a knife on him. So it went. Some was for war and some was for peace. The schoolmaster, however, said the slave oligarchy must cower at the feet of the North ere a year had flowed by, or pass over his dead corpse. Esto perpetua, he added, and sine qua non also, said I, sternly, wishing to make an impression onto the villagers. Requiescat in pace, said the schoolmaster. Too true, I answered. It's a scandalous fact. The newspapers got along at last chock full of war, and the patriotic fever fairly burst out in Bladinsville. Squire Baxter said he didn't believe in coercion, not one of 'em, and could prove by a file of Eagles of Liberty in his garret that it was all a Whig lie, got up to raise the price of whiskey and destroy our other liberties. But the old Squire got pretty riley when he heard how the rebels was cuttin' up, and he said he reckoned he would scour up his old musket and do a little square fightin' for the old flag, which had allers been on the ticket he'd voted, and he was too old to bolt now. The Squire is all right at heart, but it takes longer for him to fill his venerable biler with steam than it used to when he was young and frisky. As I previously informed you, I am captain of the Bladinsville Company. I riz gradually but majestically from drummer's secretary to my present position, but I found the ranks warn't full by no means, and commenced for to recroot. Having noticed a general desire on the part of young men who are into the crisis to wear epaulets, I determined to have my company composed exclusively of officers, everybody to rank as Brigadier General. The follerin was among the varis questions which I put to recruits. Do you know a masked battery from a hunk of gingerbread? Do you know a epaulet from a piece of chalk? If I trust you with a real gun, how many men of your own company do you expect you can manage to kill durin' the war? Have you ever heard of General Price of Missouri, and can you avoid similar accidents in case of a battle? Have you ever had the measles, and if so, how many? How air you now? Show me your tongue, etc., etc. Some of the questions was sarcastical. The company filled up rapid, and last Sunday we went to the meetin' house in full uniform. I had a serious time gettin' into my military harness, as it was built for me many years ago, but I finally got inside of it, though it fitted me putty clost. Howsoever, once into it, I looked fine, in fact, awe-inspirin'. Do you know me, Mrs. Ward? Said I, walkin' into the kitchen. Know you old fool? Of course I do. I saw at once she did. I started for the meetin' house, and I'm afraid I tried to walk too straight, for I come very near fallin' over backards, and in attempting to recover myself my sword got mixed up with my legs, and I fell in among a choice collection of young ladies, who was standin' near the church door a seein' the sojer boys come up. My cocked hat fell off, and somehow my coat tails got twisted round my neck. The young ladies put their handkerchiefs to their mouths and remarked "Te he," while my ancient female single friend, Sary Peasley, bust out in a loud larf. She exercised her mouth so violently that her new false teeth fell out onto the ground.
"Miss Peasley," said I, gettin' up and dustin' myself, "you must be more careful with them store teeth of yourn, or you'll have to gum it agin." Methinks I had her. I'd bin to work hard all the week, and I felt rather snoozy. I'm afraid I did get half asleep, for on hearin' the minister ask, "Why was man made to mourn?" I said, "I give it up," havin' a vague idea that it was a condrum. It was an unfort'nate remark, for the whole meetin' house looked at me with mingled surprise and indignation. I was about risin' to a pint of order, when it suddenly occurred to me where I was, and I kept my seat, blushin' like the red, red rose, so to speak. The next mornin' I rose with the lark. N.B. I don't sleep with the lark, though. A joke. My little daughter was execootin' ballads, accompanying herself with the accordion, and she wished me to linger and hear her sing, "Hark, I hear a angel singin', a angel now is onto the wing." "Well, let him fly, my child," said I, a bucklin' on my armor. "I must forth to my biz." We are progressin' pretty well with our drill. As all air commandin' officers, there ain't no jealousy, and as we air all exceedin' smart, it tain't worth while to try to outstrip each other. The idea of a company composed exclusively of Commanders in Chief orrigernated, I suppose I scarcely need say, in these brain. Considered as a idea, I flatter myself it is putty hefty. We've got all the tactics at our tongue's end, but what we partic'ly excel in is restin' muskets. We can rest muskets with anybody. Our corps will do its duty. We go to the aid of Columby. We fight for the stars. We'll be chopped into sausage meat before we'll exhibit our coat tails to the foe. We'll fight till there's nothin' left of us but our little toes, and even they shall defiantly wiggle. Ever of thee, A. Ward.
End of chapter 4.